Picture this. You just submitted yourself to a whole slew of agents and you started to get those first emails responding from them, letting you know that they want to have a meeting with you. Congratulations, they're interested. That's fantastic news. But the odyssey is just beginning. Now comes the fun part. You get to do your research on your agent and you get to decide what kind of questions you're going to be asking this person so that you can figure out if they're going to be a good fit for you or not. Because this agent client thing, it's a two-way street. Most actors make the mistake of just jumping headfirst into the agency where the agent says, yes, we want you. But that is not always a good strategy. A better strategy is to interview a whole bunch of agents and decide, honestly, which one is the best one for you based on your criteria. This is actually something I go very deeply into in my course, is how to get more than one interview at a time. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. In the meantime, let's get into how to research your potential agent so that you can find the perfect fit for yourself. Now, I got to warn you on this. You're going to need IMDb Pro. If you do not have IMDb Pro, what are you waiting for? You're an actor. This is the tool that you need. But okay, if you do not have IMDb Pro, you can also use the agent's website and their social media. But that's a little bit more tricky because, as with all social media and websites, this is a very controlled glimpse that they are giving you into who they are and how well they're doing, just as all social media is, right? So we need to take that into consideration. But before we do get into all of that, there are two things you should know. I made a video for you that has the 15 must-ask questions in every agent interview. This video today is all about honing those questions to make them even more specific to you so that you truly end up with an agent that is perfect for you and not just the first one that said yes. Before we get into exactly how to research your potential agent, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That really does help me out immensely. And make sure to let me know in the comments what your light bulb moments were about this podcast, or if there's anything in particular that you would like me to expand on. I'd love to know that as well. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. As I said, today we're going to talk about how to first use IMDb Pro to check out an agent's credentials, the kind of jobs that they do, whether they're theatrical or commercial or a mix of both, how high level, where their clients are placing within all of that. These are all things that you can use IMDb Pro to figure out. And this way, you'll be all set for that important meeting. Oh, and by the way, if you would like to know how to be lucky enough to set up so many agent meetings that you need to select which agent is the best for you out of all of those meetings, the best way to do that is by designing an EPK. And I went into that in last week's video. So go check that one out first, then come back here and we'll show you how to research your potential agents as soon as those emails start rolling in. Okay, so let's say that you've been contacted by Gunther, why not, at the Two-Tone Agency. Gunther loved your EPK and he now wants to interview you. This is fantastic news. This means that he's interested in finding out if you are a good fit for his agency. But this is giving you the opportunity to discover if Gunther and the Two-Tone Agency are a good fit for you. So something to keep in mind is, what are your priorities? Give some thought and write down a list of the things that you want from your relationship with your agent. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up IMDb Pro, and then you're going to scroll over to companies, and you'll scroll down to talent agencies, and you're going to find Gunther's Two-Tone Agency, or you could just put his name into the search box and find it that way. The first thing that you're going to look at is how many agents are in Gunther's agency. How many agents does Gunther have? If he just is his little old self, that's fine. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But if he's representing 937 clients, that is a bad thing. So a good ratio of client to agent is about 100 to 150. You don't want agents with more people on their roster than that. First of all, if they have that many people on their roster, their people probably aren't working that much. So they need that many people on their roster just to be able to pay their rents. That right there is a big red flag. The second thing is they're not going to have time. They're going to be really overworked and overstressed because they're constantly going to be looking for work for too many people. 100 people to 150 people sounds like a lot, but it's actually a manageable number. The next thing that you want to do is go over and look at the talent that Gunter's agency represents and go through the profiles kind of one by one. I could have done this with you on IMDb Pro, but it's kind of long, tedious work, so I decided against doing it. You need to just kind of go through their people and see, maybe even start with the people who are most like you. So the people who would be your direct competition. First of all, is there anyone who's your direct competition? Sometimes agents will like to have more than one person who's a specific type, and other times they'll want completely different types. That will also tell you a lot about how Gunter thinks, whether he likes to have 5 middle-aged women with dark hair and light eyes, or, he wants just one of someone like me. And if that's something that's important to you, that's good information to know. The next thing that you want to do after you figured out whether you have a lot of competition in the agency or not is then start clicking into the client profiles and seeing what kind of work are they booking. Are they booking work, and what kind of work is it? Is it mostly theatrical? Theatrical meaning television and film, obviously. Is it mostly commercial work? Both are great. Commercial work pays really, really well, and it can help you to pay your rent while you are pursuing more meaty roles in higher profile productions. So there's nothing wrong with commercial work, and there's nothing wrong with an agent that does both. Everybody likes the money that comes with commercials. But unless you are specifically looking for someone who is just doing commercial work, if that's all you're seeing in the roster, that may be another red flag. On the other hand, if what you're seeing is a lot of television work, a lot of film work, the next thing you're going to want to do is click into that specific role and try and see if that was a guest star or a co-star. If it's not listed as a guest star or a co-star, it's probably a featured extra. And that also, for me, again, would be a big red flag. But again, everybody's different. Everybody's at a different place in their career. So if that's something that sounds appealing to you at this stage in your career, then don't let that deter you. That's why it's so important to do the research on your own. Another thing is when you see, for instance, if I was going to be interviewing Gunter and I saw that Gunter had 3 other women like me in his agency, I could bring that up. I'd say, hey, Gunter, I see you have 3 other women like me. Why were you interested in interviewing me? What did you think that I bring to the table that they don't? What's the reason for it, basically, right? That's what you want to know. You could also use that to say, hey, Gunter, I noticed you don't have anybody in your agency like me. Or at least I don't think so. So what are you looking for? What are you hoping that I bring to the table? Another thing to take note of is if Gunter is booking a lot of clients in one particular television show. That means that Gunter probably has a very good relationship with that casting director, which is good news for you because he's got some influence with her or him, whoever it may be. And the other thing that you're going to want to do is Google Gunter. See if he comes up in Deadline, in Variety, in any of the industry magazines that are used in your region. So those 2 are obviously used in America, but there are other ones that are used in different regions around the world. Doing your research is going to give you the edge. It's going to let them know that you're the kind of actor that does their homework, and you're going to be able to ask even more specific questions that are more specific to you. And this is imperative. Once you've done all this different research on Gunter, you know what kind of projects he's booking, you know how many clients per agent, you know how often and what kind of shows his clients are booking and what kind of roles they're booking into. Another thing that's going to be a really big tell is how Gunter reacts to all your questions. So obviously, be nice, be fun, be personable. This is a two-way street for both of you, and you're trying to see if he's a good fit for you and you're a good fit for him. But you certainly don't want to burn any bridges or make him feel less than in any way, just as you wouldn't want him to be doing that with you. But however he reacts to your questions is going to be a really good indication to how he's going to react to future communications with you. So Gunter loves you. Your interview is done. He loved you. He wants to sign you on the spot. What do you do? What do you do? Okay, that's the big question, right? Well, first of all, do you love Gunter? That is the question that I want you to ask yourself. Do you love him? Have you had enough interviews with other people to make a decision? Because you don't want to be going with Gunter just because he's the first person that asked you. If you're looking to have a strategy that is going to get you at least a couple of interviews with different agents so that you are the one making the choice, not just going with the first agent that wants you, then you should definitely hit me up, because that's a part of my program, Get Better Roles. And we really go into depth on learning how to pitch yourself, honestly, because that's what we are doing as actors when we are interviewing two agents. We are pitching ourselves to them. We are pitching ourselves for roles. We're pitching ourselves to directors, to producers. We are pitching ourselves all the time. And that's what my program, Get Better Roles, is all about. It's teaching you how to pitch yourself, no matter where you're at in your career, to get to the next level. So even though Gunter loves you, you are going to ask Gunter if you can have some time to think it over. Just say, can I have 24 hours to sleep on it? Now, if you have some other agent interviews lined up, ask for more time. Ask if it's okay to get back to him at the end of the week. He may say no, and then you're going to have to go with your gut. You can say, can I have 24 hours? You may say, I want an answer right now. Then I think it would be a fair question to say why he can't wait 24 hours. It is in your hands much more than you think it is. I want you to take agency. You deserve it. No pun intended. So if you don't have IMDb Pro, what do you do? I'm going to be really honest. Without IMDb Pro, it's going to be difficult. IMDb Pro definitely makes things quite a lot easier. But if you don't have IMDb Pro, you're going to want to go to their agency website and also their social media. Keep in mind, though, that people are showing you what they want you to see. But it will give you some idea. You can then go look at the actors' pages. You can DM an actor and get some feedback. But that is all sort of more based on feelings and less on facts. IMDb Pro is going to be giving you the facts. And if you don't have it, what are you waiting for? You're an actor. You need to have this tool in your toolbox. By the way, if you are serious about taking your career to the next level, you are going to want to learn how to pitch yourself, whether that's to an agent, to a casting director, to a producer, for anything. You need to know how to pitch yourself. And that is exactly what I teach my actors how to do. So if you are a trained actor who has been pursuing a career as a professional actor for at least a couple of years, and you are still not where you want to be, you should book an appointment with me. Let's figure out if you're a good fit for my program. And hey, look, if you're not, I'll just be really honest, and I will try and help you figure out the next steps from there. Until next time, you stay your bold and beautiful self. Bye-bye.